I want to highlight some injustices that not only my family has faced, but also some injustices that we face as Indigenous people up against all of these systems, whether that be the education system, the child welfare system, the justice system, the healthcare system, which I'm going to be talking about today. And that's a really big one because the average Canadian person doesn't really see the way that the Indigenous people are being oppressed through these systems. My two uncles, Curtis Bear and Patrick Bear, they helped me become the man I am today because I never had a father growing up, but my uncles were always there with me. Unfortunately, my uncle Curtis had passed away in 2016 due to negligence in St. Paul's Hospital of Saskatoon. And that hospital, if you research it, has the highest death rate in Canada. And that's because of the negligence. And what happened with my uncle was that he had a brain aneurysm and he went checked into St. Paul's Hospital. They put him in the hallway and they gave him gravel and he fell into a coma and he never woke up from the coma. There's a real injustice that was done. This is 4 years this month that he had passed away. That really comes into the story of my other uncle. If you know my family, then you know my uncle Patrick. He's been suffering through some health conditions with his kidney. He has diabetes and he has kidney failure and his kidney started to fail in 2014, so he had to go on dialysis. And in this time that he was in dialysis in Saskatoon, he got the worst treatment possible. It's Saskatoon St. Paul's Hospital. They weren't treating him with respect. They weren't treating him with dignity. And his health was failing because of that. You know, mentally he was giving up and physically his body was feeling it. But he's a very strong guy. And I get inspiration from him to carry on and to move forward. Like, I always think in my hardest times, if he can do it, then I can do it too, you know? And so he suffers through that with his kidney. And he was on dialysis. And if you don't know what dialysis is, it's basically you have to go to the hospital every other day. It's because your kidneys aren't functioning properly, so that machine takes on the function of your kidneys. You have to he has a big fistula that's popping out of his arm because the doctors didn't do the surgery properly, and they're very negligent when they were doing it. And then his arm popped, and you can see his fistula is kind of like popping out even to this day. But he stuck through it. Like, he has a son, and that's my cousin, you know, and that's what gives him strength to keep moving forward. So from 2014, he was suffering pretty badly. You can tell that these people are very important to me in my life. And I was so sick of hearing the mistreatment that he was getting at St. Paul's Hospital all of the time. No respect. And even though he's been so optimistic, he's had so much challenges at St. Paul's Hospital. Like many, many Indigenous people, like, they can tell you stories of Saskatoon at that hospital, how bad the doctors are and how badly they treat the patients, the Indigenous patients. And just, he moved out to Vancouver and he stayed with me. And as soon as he came to Vancouver, I was on my healing journey, you know. It's been a long journey for us, but I started on my healing journey. I was walking on that path, and he came around the same time. So we were eating healthy, we were exercising, we were walking. Like, me, my partner Casey, you know, my brother Nate, my uncle Patrick, we would walk 12 kilometers, honestly, I'm not even lying, 16 kilometers sometimes. We would just keep walking, we would talk, we would bond. Mind you, he has health conditions with his kidney, but it's good for him to walk. But he was powering through that. Like, he was leading the walks, and he would take us where he was walking on like a daily basis. And the doctors were baffled at him. So my uncle, he wasn't supposed to, the doctors told him this years ago, you're not going to see past 35. We just celebrated, you know, my uncle's last birthday, 37 years old. He defied, you know, what they thought, and he's still here. Literally, he's still with us and growing strong. So as he moved here 2018, my grandma also moved here because she has health issues too, and she was going through the same thing at St. Paul's Hospital with her lungs. They weren't giving her proper treatment. With my uncle, his kidney functions were very low. His heart, it wasn't functioning the way that a normal heart should. It was low. But when he came out here, so many things changed for him. And I feel like just being together and supporting each other as a family, you know, that's really what helped. And so to this day, that was 2018, to this day, my uncle Patrick Bear is actually on the transplant list. And I honestly, I pray every single day, and I give tobacco every single day because this is a miracle. That my uncle Patrick, he is on the transplant list and he's looking to actually get a kidney. And not many people know about this, but I actually signed up to be one of those donors for my uncle Patrick, and I never got a call back yet. But the thing is, the hospital is still working on it, and he's on that list, and his heart is functioning. It's get higher in percentage, and his kidneys are doing much better, and that is linked to the respect that he's getting, the treatment, as a human being that you should be getting in a hospital. He's getting that treatment, with respect. He's looking out for his health. He's a very spiritual guy. We believe in traditional medicines, and he's been taking traditional medicines, and that's helped his body greatly as well. My grandma, she's also seeing some major improvements in her health. So that's like the resiliency of what I'm telling you. It's empowering, and it like brings me strength to know. So I just wanted to share that with you. I want to say that, we've been through a lot, but we're still here. We're still healing. We're still putting that work into our communities. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm setting up a support fund, and we've never had this. It was in school. Literally, while all this was happening, my uncle was in school because he wants to build a good, strong structure for him and his child, his baby boy, his son. He's looking to get into addictions counseling. That's what he wants to do, and so he wants to help people with their addictions. Like, this is empowering, and he empowers me and he inspires me. And that's why I'm doing this right now, because I want to help him out. What I want to do is I want to try set him up with this Gofundme account and with this community support, to support, my family members. I want to be able to give back to him. He helps people out with his genuine heart. And so that's why I'm creating this fund for him, so we could also come together as a community, and I want to be able to help him out in that way. Grandma, she's still going through her appointments as well because she struggles with her lungs, and she's the structure, the backbone of our family. There's no doubt about it. And I would like to support my grandma in that way. Thank you again.